Apparently, I got to do this shit again because some people in the Reddit comments want to sit here and play with me. Well, since you know so damn much, what about Paul in Tekken 3? I don't care how canonical it is. He's a joke character. It doesn't make any sense. There's no way he beat Ogre. Well, he did. All right. This is what happens when you let bad writers in the studio of the Tekken franchise of what we have today. Because people really don't understand or believe that Paul was really that dude. Paul whooped everybody's ass in Tekken 3. Yeah, I'm so serious. He ran through the goddamn roster like diarrhea. That Paul was really on some I don't give a damn, I'm getting my lick back type shit. F everybody in Tekken 3. I mean, Paul really did have something to prove though. You know, Paul really felt played. He felt betrayed. He felt like he was robbed from Tekken 2. He wanted his lick back from Kazuya. Oh, Paul was not playing in Tekken 3. And when the word got out that Kazi was dead, well, he was like, shit, all right, well, I'm going to whoop his son ass. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it was what Paul whooped Xiao Yu ass. Paul whooped Yoshimitsu ass. Paul whooped Anna ass. He whooped Nina ass. He whooped Lei Wulong ass. He whooped Julia ass. And he even fought Brian. Yeah, that's right. Now, the people I did name, Jin fought them. But, yeah, Paul fought Brian. Paul whooped Brian ass. Yeah, I know it. What, huh? How the hell he whooped Brian? No way he whooped Brian. Listen to me. Brian's body, you know, Brian was a reanimated cyborg. Brian's body, he was still getting used to the body. Brian was strong as the fuck. Yes, he was in Tekken 3, but Brian still was not used to that body for real. As you see, when he first got in tournament, Brian was sent by Dr. Abel to actually spy and go kidnap Dr. B for real. That's who he wanted. He wanted to take Dr. B out, but Brian was still, you know, not used to that body for real fully, so he couldn't really control it. So he fucked around and ran into Paul ass and had a one-on-one bout, and Paul beat the shit out of him. Paul did not, there was no denying. Paul knew that Brian was abnormally fucking strong, but Paul's had something to prove. Paul genuinely beat Brian Fury. So then, but after that, he didn't matter. Brian didn't care about the tournament. Brian had other shit to do. So Brian went ahead, and that's when he found Yoshimitsu and got his ass whooped by Yoshimitsu. That's why Brian in Tekken 4 had went back to Dr. Abel and realized, hey, man, you need to fix me because something ain't right. Because during the tournament, Brian's power was draining. Brian was actually a prototype. Brian was not meant to last. So there you go. That's how he lost. As you see right here, hell, Eddie lost. But Eddie lost by Jin. But if you pay close attention to this scene, see, everybody thought, oh, that's what Eddie found out. No, Eddie knew who the fuck killed his father and knew who was behind it while he was locked up in prison, which is why he learned capoeira from that master while he was in there. When Eddie already had it set in his mind when he got out of prison that his hell finna be hell to pay. And so when he went to the tournament, and he fought Jin and got his ass whooped, Jin is the one who gave up the location of where he can find some answers. And that's how he ended up there at that Mishima Empire part right there. Wherever the hell that was, part of the Mishima shit. But that's how he found out that right there. But see, this is what you don't know. That's not old pictures of Kazuya from Tekken 2. That was the game hinting to everybody about what's upcoming in Tekken 4. Kazuya was still alive. Yeah, but long story short, Paul actually made it to Ogre. Yes, he did. He actually ran into HEIHACHI first. And HEIHACHI was astounded that this motherfucker made it again. So, but at the end of the day, Paul was like, oh, so you my last opponent again? HEIHACHI was like, hell no. You got to walk through here and go fight this big green jolly giant motherfucker. And then you will see what we talking about. Paul was like, man, get the hell out of the way. Let me tell you something. Paul didn't give a damn who he had to go through. Paul went and did that work. Now, people are actually still also contemplating, like, how the hell did he even beat Ogre? Well, the fact of the matter is, Ogre was still accumulating people's spirits. Ogre had been in, like, a dormant sleep state for fucking decades. Like, you know, at the end of the day, when Ogre was reawakened, he was still not truly that strong. That is the truth. Ogre was phenomenally powerful. Like, the average human couldn't fuck with Ogre. But Ogre had been very weakened over time. So when he got in front of a motherfucker like Paul, it was a wrap. So when Paul ran into Jin, because Jin got there after Paul, Jin looking at Paul like, what the hell you doing here? Man, Paul was like, hey, it's over, young nigga. Turn around and go home, nigga. Hey, make sure you give me my goddamn cash money and make sure you send it to at paulphoenixthegreat.com. Man, Paul got the hell up out of there. Nah, but seriously, Jin had already fought HEIHACHI before Paul came out. So that's why, if you probably noticed, HEIHACHI was already knocked on the ground unconscious when Paul walked out. But Paul had already gloated and said that I won a tournament. It's over. I want to, make sure y'all have my goddamn prize money. And Paul left. But guess who came walking out as soon as after Paul left? Ogre. And you see this picture right here? That's right. Jin saw motherfucking red. When that little mark and shit come on his forehead right there, you better get the hell out the way. Oh, Jen saw nothing but red. Jen put in that goddamn work. That little flashback when he's of his mama and Kazuya had came across his mind. Yeah, that was actually right then. He was genuinely standing in front of Ogre when that happened. And Jen went berserk. And the rest is history. Goddamn, we all know what happened after that. It ain't nothing else to contemplate. We all know the ending of Tekken 3. Everybody know the actual major main story of Tekken 3. Whatever. But if you understood and you was confused about what happened with Paul and how certain shit happened again, there you go. Certain clinical details that your ass didn't bother to look, dig, and deep into and understand and put shit together. That's simply what happened. If you don't know how Paul did it, that's how Paul did it. Paul had a whole revenge plan. Paul was still furious from Tekken 2. Paul found out Kazuya died. He said, "You son of a bitch. You think you gonna just get away with it that easy? No, I'm finna take your whole goddamn family out. Your granddad, your dad is still a goddamn alive. I heard you got a son out here somewhere." Man, Paul put a whole plan together. Paul went and got Forrest's ass because he tried to get Law. Law was like, "Hey, man, I'm done with this tournament shit. I'm finna start a life." And what I did, man, he went and got Forrest's little ass and then went to that tournament. He said, "All right, look here, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna double team this motherfucker." And Law and Forrest went in there and did work, and Paul did double work. But Forrest had ran into goddamn Jen and lost, so that was the end of that.